Let's do this.
What are we doing? What are you up to? Huh?
What have I been up to?
What are you doing?
Well, besides just doing a bunch of animating.
Anime playing.
Yep. I've created my first 3D animation of a tree.
Nice.
And a rock. Haven't put the colors in yet.
My rock.
I'm working on the lessons I'm taking are taking me to make a landscape right now. So so it's kind of cool. I just made up my first pine tree. It was really interesting to make. I'm excited. So
fun. That sounds pretty great.
I actually have so much fun doing this 3D animation. Like, it's fun to do. It's fun to make the stuff and actually see what it comes out to.
Okay.
Other than that, I've also been playing. I've been very addicted to this $5 video game called Stacklands.
Okay.
Very fun. It's basically a card game survival or a card survival game.
Huh. That sounds interesting.
It's very fun. It's so you just take cards, like you have a bunch, you like stack them up, and then you put, like, if it says put a villager on top of the stack, and then they'll create something from it. Then you put food into the farm, so you make more food, make some trees, make bushes, all that stuff. And every once in a while, bad guys will spawn, and then you have to take them out. Basically, the goal of the game is just to see how far you can get. You have to be mindful with how much food you have, because every morning or every night, it'll use your food to feed your villagers, and it'll be like, all right, do you have enough food? And if you don't have enough food, some of your villagers will die. It's very fun, very addicting. Might be the next game I'll stream if it comes to it.
Oh, all right.
So, other than that, I've got nothing else. What have you been doing?
Acted in a play last weekend.
Ah, yes.
So that's finally done. So I'll have a little more time to put towards this podcast.
You say that.
Oh, I know I won't, but here's the hoping. That's about all I was up to. That kind of took up all my time. But I do have some Marvel rumors and stuff to talk about. Do you want to talk about any Star Wars stuff?
Yeah, I was just about to say we could. I mean, if you wanted to, you can do your Star Wars rumors, and I can go into.
Don't do Star Wars rumors.
That's true. Well, the Marvel rumors I've heard.
This just in: Star Wars still sucks. All right, Marvel.
Oh, yeah. Continue on, please.
I guess we'll start with the big. We'll start with the big guy.
The big guy.
So as I said on back and forth, Thor Love and Thunder trailer came out.
Yeah.
New one. Plus a runtime got announced. 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's a long movie for a Taika Waititi film, I feel like. But
that does sound like a long...
So there's been a lot of rumors around it. Is Thor getting replaced? Is this his final movie? Stuff like that. Taika Waititi got asked that. He basically said, is this a passing of the torch to Lady Thor?
That's an interesting thought.
No. Basically.
Well, I mean...
He was like, I haven't, been told that they're planning to stop, doing this and all that jazz. Which I don't think that they will do that. I don't think Thor's going to die or nothing like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody has to die. Kill Gore.
So you're thinking it's like Lady Thor or something?
That would definitely be an interesting story if, just think of this for a second, right? There's this enchantment on the hammer, right?
Yeah.
And there's this killer of gods, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gore. So some of those gods that he's going to kill are the ones that control that enchantment on the hammer. So let's say they know, because they're powerful enough gods, that the only way to stop Gore is to give the power of Mjolnir to somebody, and the person that they choose to be worthy is Jane Foster. They may know that this is going to kill her because she's just a mere human, so maybe she has to draw upon enough power to take out Gore at some point, and that power will kill her.
Oh, wow.
I think that would be a good story. I really don't think they'll kill off Jane Foster, but That would be a pretty fun story.
Well, speaking of killing someone off, this kind of goes into my question that I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
So in our main episode here, you talked about how the new trailer had a lot new stuff in it, I believe.
Yep.
So in this new trailer, did it show any signs of anybody? Do you have any ideas that somebody could die in it, of a certain somebody dying?
I mean,
I'm not saying nobody's gonna die.
based
Somebody's
on the
gonna
trailer,
die.
a lot of gods are going to die. Of the main characters, it didn't necessarily point towards one over the other.
Do you have any ideas of who? Do you have any speculation of who's gonna die?
Like gods?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like any main gods that we've
Okay.
seen for.
I mean, I can go into my rumors of how I exactly think the movie's going to go if you want me to. But I think a lot of gods are going to die.
Well, yeah. I mean,
okay, let's go into the gods in the MCU. All right. So basically, if you look at the tier of gods, we've got above, you got humans, and above them there's the Asgardians, right?
mm-hmm.
They live a long time. They have specific powers, whatnot, and they control kind of their realm. And just above them, I would put the Olympians, Zeus, Hercules, and them.
Okay.
Don't know why I blanked on other Hades, and they are a lot larger than Asgardians. They're generally in the comics 10 feet tall and large and have a lot of powers, as
Okay.
the mythology says. Zeus has his lightning and whatnot. Hercules is muscular. And then above them we have what would be Khonshu and the Egyptian gods, the Panther god.
Do you expect maybe one of the Egyptian gods? Maybe.
Well, I'm just finish off. Then above them are the eternal beings that
The
are
Eternals.
the eternal beings. These are not the Eternals. The eternal. I don't know exactly how they are in the MCU. In the comics, they would be the Celestials. But I'm going above them too,
Okay.
because I don't know exactly where to put them in the MCU really. But above that would be the eternal beings that are the exact same throughout all multiverses. They oversee everything. There's not versions of them in each multiverse like there would be of Asgardians and possibly Olympians.
So
But these,
the Watcher.
so this would be the Watcher, the Living Tribunal, that we do see, in that split second as they're going through the multiverse and multiverse of madness.
Is Galactus?
He's a cosmic entity. I would put him. He would be on the same tier as the Eternals wherever they are.
Okay.
And then, but yeah, and then Eternity, of course, Infinity, Lady Death.
Okay.
All of them would be at this top, and those are the ones that control the enchantment on Thor's hammer. They're the top tier, only below the god of the MCU. But so I think Gore's going to kind of march through each of those, killing off as many gods in those realms as he can. I think so. He'll come for the Asgardians first, and I think that's why Thor's going to have such a big role, is because he came for Asgardians, and so then he's going to go for the Olympians next. So I think a lot of the Olympians are going to die. In the comics, Olympians aren't big deal. Hercules is really the only one that does a lot. I mean, he's a part of the Avengers at one point. I think he's part of the Young Avengers at one point. So I think that's probably, they could bring him into the MCU that way, he's one of the Olympians that doesn't die, and then I think they're Thor's going to be trying to warn these gods, and these gods are going to be trying to be well, nobody can hurt us type of a thing. And eventually they're going to realize, oh, Gore is powerful, and that's when the big gods are going to step in, and they're going to maybe, I don't know exactly how it's going to be. Maybe, like I said, imbuing Jane Foster or Thor or Valkyrie or whoever with a lot of power, and they're going to go up against Gore in a big old battle at the end. But I'm not sure exactly how it's going to be. Those gods at the top are definitely ones that like to stay out of things, but if someone's coming for them, they're going to do something. So that's kind of how I see Gore's thing. I do think a lot of the gods are going to die. We're probably going to see some Egyptian gods that we got referenced in Midnight Dive. We're probably going to see Zeus. I think Zeus is going to die.
Okay.
Probably other Olympian gods. I go back and forth on like the big god that's like Living Tribunal's gonna die, or somebody that's super powerful just like really showcase the power that Gore has. I don't know.
All right.
Wouldn't
all
be too
right.
surprised.
Okay. So Gore is probably going to be. So from what I understand, he's going to be climbing to more and more powerful gods.
Because I don't know a whole lot about the blade he carries. Why can't I think of the name of the blade he carries? As far as I know, like the more gods it kills, the more powerful it gets,
Okay.
or the more power he gets from it, or something along those lines. So I would lean on him starting, at smaller gods, and as he gets more powerful, going for more powerful gods.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions you have, or should I move on?
No other questions about.
All right. So we'll move on to She-Hulk next, since we got a trailer for that. The rumors kind of around that are very much centered around one character in particular, Daredevil. Why, you might ask? Well, She-Hulk is a lawyer. She's a lawyer that represents superheroes.
I thought she was a superhero.
She is a superhero. That's a lawyer that represents superheroes. It's a little confusing, I know, but try to keep up. And the only lawyer that we've seen represent superheroes in the MCU is a little guy named Matthew Murdock. And we saw him, of course, in No Way Home, right?
Yeah.
So,
Is he going to pop up?
I would give it about a 99% chance that he's going to show up in some way.
Really?
She-Hulk.
Do you think maybe not only Daredevil, but maybe some... Are we going to see some type of villains of Daredevil? Maybe some name drops of those characters?
My theory with that would be... Like, yes, I think that Disney with Hawkeye and now they have announced, I think I said, that they have announced Daredevil Season 4 coming and Echo coming. I do think there's going to be this, like, street level with Kingpin that they've introduced as, like, the big baddie. And I wouldn't be surprised if She-Hulk was put in that. I also wouldn't be surprised if She-Hulk was more of a... I mean, she, is a Hulk. She's very strong. Can be higher... Can be part of the Avengers and whatnot. But I do think she will probably be put in that same category, which I think would be smart.
Okay.
Because she, is a lawyer. She wants to stay a lawyer. She doesn't want to be like a superhero. So I wouldn't be surprised if, Kingpin was name dropped. If I don't think he's going to be like the main baddie or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was name dropped. If the Hand, if
Okay.
things like that were name dropped. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's all I've got. For...
That's the only real rumors that I can think of on that side of it. I guess the only other rumor like I have is, as I said before, there's this shot that I think is the Wrecking Crew that other people haven't mentioned as being the Wrecking Crew in the trailer.
So you're the only one, possibly.
I mean, of everything that I've watched and listened to and whatnot, nobody's really said, "Oh, that looks like it might be the Wrecking Crew." I think a good version of the Wrecking Crew in live action would be pretty fun. They're really like kind of quirky villain group.
That might be a good villain for She-Hulk.
Yeah. And then bringing in the actual good Absorbing Man. Anyways, yeah. So moving on to the other big one. Fantastic Four. We can't stop talking about that now.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen John Krasinski. So there's a lot of rumors going on about that. There was a director, I can't remember her name. Oh, my gosh. But she's been rumored to be directing with John Krasinski. She directed a lot of The Mandalorian, and she directed the episode of Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, the first one we see Mandalorian in. So she's proven herself to be a good TV director, at least. She was rumored to be directing with John Krasinski and playing Sue Storm. She basically said no. When she was asked, she said no, I'm not doing that. But, as we've fans of Andrew Garfield, you can't really believe anything people say when it comes to MCU movies. But I yeah. Anyways, and other rumors, right? Like, if John Krasinski's playing Mr. Fantastic, which I think he will be in the MCU, a lot of people think Emily Blunt should play Mrs. Fantastic,
Really?
Invisible Woman, right? Which I think it's like they have really good chemistry. It would be really good to see them. I think, but I don't see like I love Emily Blunt as an actress. Don't get me wrong, but when I see her, I don't see. Well, the way I saw it, when I see John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, I just think that works. When I see her as Invisible Woman, I don't know. I don't feel like Invisible Woman is like if they did an older version of them. But I feel like in the MCU they kind of have to do a younger version, right? Like because they haven't been around. They could change. They could surprise me and change their backstory a little bit, make it where they're older when they get their powers or something. But I feel like she would make an incredible like. Older, wiser Invisible Woman. But Invisible Woman, when she's younger and gets her powers, she's very, I don't know, just doesn't strike me as Emily Blunt. But I do think their chemistry is great, and she's a great actress, so she could probably pull it off. So, anyways, but a very interesting rumor that has been spreading is there was a screenshot from basically in Marvel when they're, thinking of different actors, thinking of different storylines, thinking of different posters, whatnot. They send out, and do a poll of people in the MCU circles, right? And there's this poll out that everything else on it seems to be accurate. There was stuff about things of Multiverse of Madness that happened and whatnot. Thor: Love and Thunder. And there's this picture on there of Mr. Fantastic as John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Invisible Woman on like the poster of Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Which, based on where it came from, I think it's a pretty reliable source, and that makes me think that's probably where they're headed with that. We're a couple of years out, of course, so who knows? But I think that that should be interesting. We talked a little bit about Wakanda. Do you have any questions about that? Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, nothing really about that one. I am excited to see Fantastic Four in the MCU.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. I'm hoping it's going to be good.
I guess the last thing I'll talk about is Miss Marvel coming out pretty soon. I was going to say something about Wakanda Forever, but we could say that for later. Miss Marvel coming out pretty soon.
Yeah.
The first 2 episodes were released to, insiders and stuff. And so I've seen people's reactions to them. And it's about what I thought, but way worse.
Way worse?
People did not like it. One guy,
oh dear.
What YouTube channel was I watching? I think it was The Cosmic Wonder. Shout out to you. You're awesome. I love watching your videos. I think it was him that said it looked like something his 9-year-old daughter would watch. Which I'm totally fine with, going into an animated series for younger kids and even a live action for younger kids, as long as it tells a good story. I mean, we've talked about Gravity Falls, made for a younger audience, but the story is so good. The humor is good for any age, and the stories are really well told. But it sounds like that's not there.
Oh dear.
And it's
dear.
So, I mean, I was expecting it to be pretty bad based on the trailer, as I said, and kind of disappointed. But we'll see. We'll see when it comes out.
Okay.
That was a lot, but do you have anything you want to talk about Marvel-wise or going into Star Wars?
Nothing about Marvel, but so just before starting to record this, I had just learned that a trailer for Andor was released and had just watched a reveal trailer for Mandalorian Season 3.
Uh-huh.
So, interesting stuff. I don't want to get too much into it because I want to save that for our main back and forth episode, but I will talk a little speculation that I have for it. So, for Andor, this will kind of reveal what I saw, but I will say it anyway because it's way too interesting for me. I'm actually excited for the show after seeing it. It looks really good. Okay. I know this is a fan-made show. This is fan pushed show, but still, it actually might be a very good show.
Every good thing that's come from Star Wars has basically been forced by fans. in the last few years.
You know what? I won't doubt that. But I'm having a bit of trouble trying to figure out the timeline for this.
Okay.
When this was. And my speculation is that it's still going to be in the time of when clones were in the Empire.
Okay.
So we might see some live action clones, which I'm actually really excited to see.
Very interesting.
So small chance, because Andor, with how old he was in Rogue One,
Right.
it's going to be kind of hard to know, like, if there are clones or if maybe it was at the end.
I mean, let's say he's like 30.
Yeah.
10 years earlier, wouldn't there have been clones still?
Maybe. I've never really known when the clones actually... Okay. I don't know that information. If you guys know that information, please comment it. Let us know about this. I don't know the information.
As you guys know from my last episode, I know nothing about the timeline of Star Wars, so this is right between episode 8 and 9, something like that.
No. But
there's clones.
Yeah, it actually made me very excited. I do have this very interesting suspicion that it is actually going to be a very good Star Wars spy show.
Like I said when you first talked about it and I first heard about it, yeah, if it was, I'm down for a Star Wars spy type show, but yeah, you know, speculation on my skepticals with this one, but yeah, I'm definitely hoping for something good there.
Yeah, it looks really good. It looks like there's going to be a lot of new characters in this show. So not expecting our familiarity.
Yep.
I'm not expecting that at all. I'm expecting a lot of new characters, new Star Wars worlds that we're going to be seeing maybe, and stuff like that. There may be, there may be one or two characters that we've seen before.
Okay.
Don't know.
What about speculation on
Mandalorian? Oh my goodness. I'm really excited for this season, because I think what I think this season will offer us is to watch Din Djarin go to Mandalore and then become the leader of the Mandalorians.
Interesting.
I think.
I don't know who Din Djarin is, but
the Mandalorian.
I know.
But
Din Djarin.
I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I do have this interesting speculation that Grogu might get a lightsaber.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a small, interesting speculation. I have my theories on that, but at the same time, I don't put too much hope in it. It's some thoughts I was having. But other than that, it does look, from what I understand it, he is actually going to go to Mandalore. So we're going to see Mandalore, hopefully.
Very
I'm
cool.
really excited because I love Mandalore.
Right.
Mandalore is one of my favorite planets. I love Mandalorians. Oh, they're awesome. And we might actually see some more Mandalorians, probably maybe even see some very familiar Mandalorians that we've seen before.
Okay.
I'm excited. We may even see Sabine Wren.
Yeah. We might.
You know who that is.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Other than that, nothing else I have for Mandalorian. It was just one teaser trailer, not much information on it other than the Mandalorian and other characters.
Very cool.
I won't say much else until our next episode of Back and Forth here.
Alrighty. Well, I think that does it for me as well. I'll definitely be keeping my eyes out for more trailers, and you guys can watch for your reaction video to the first episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
2 episodes.
Oh, 2 episodes coming out on the same day? Did not know that.
I've been telling you this.
Well, it shows how much I listen to you. And we will see you. Wait, no. What?
I will say this. Just as one little add-on for this episode, I know it's not going to be much here, and it will probably come out after I have already put out the judgment for Obi-Wan, but I will say, for my speculation on Obi-Wan here, no. Just no.
Okay. But yeah, we will see y'all next week.